Good afternoon, everyone. It's a lovely day today, and I'm going to do a video on bad advice for Pattaya. Now, I reached out to a bunch of friends, and I'm not going to name them. Well, I might do actually. And I didn't really think too much about this video, but I did go to GPT, which I've got a subscription for, and I did ask it for bad advice about Pattaya, and it says that it can't give me bad advice because it could harm me. Yeah, anyway, I'm sure I could have worded the question clever, like maybe common myths or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'll get onto it. So, fight for your rights and stand up for yourself. This is bad advice. Pick your battles. My uncle, who's down there at the moment in the guest house, he had a watch that he bought for 200 baht. It broke the next day. I advised him to just forget about it. He did go back and they did say that they didn't know who he was and he didn't go there. Anyway, I said, you've got to pick your battles in Thailand. Sometimes it's just not worth it. I've had friends in hours standoff for principle for 500 baht. But the thing is about principles, it's good to have them. But at the end of the day, a lot of people don't care and nobody's going to reward you for wasting your time and standing there. In fact, people will probably just think, is this guy got nothing better to do? So I always say, pick your battles, put your ego aside. Sometimes it hurts. The guy who's trying to sue me at the moment, that's a battle I want to take on. If it was something of a very smaller amount, a little issue, and like if you drive into the back of someone and there's no damage, but they want 500 baht, just pay the damn thing. That's what I say. Otherwise, you've got to sit by the side of the road. You've got to call people. So, yeah, pick your battles in Thailand. It could probably apply in life all over too. Listening to Barstool lawyers. Now, I sat in a friend's bar the other day, which is very unusual. And some guy came in and he sat down. I'm the quiet one, so people don't talk to me. And he was saying that the common law exists here. So if you're married to a Thai lady, if you're not married to a Thai lady and you've been together for a long time, she takes half of everything. I was just like, no. But this guy kept on talking. He was an expert on this field. And I didn't want to get into a legal argument because I'm not a lawyer. Yes, I own law firms, but I leave that to the lawyers to argue. So I thought, right, when the conversation gets silly, it's time to leave because I don't want to be part of this disinformation. So, yeah, be careful of Barstool lawyers. A lot of people have warned me in the past. They've tried to sell condos, give legal advice, and people go straight to the Barstool lawyers and then they get bad advice. And all of a sudden, the table of wisdom have turned them against the whole idea. And they're running away from something that could have been a solid deal. These are the same sort of guys that will tell you that Farangs don't win in court, Farangs don't win in insurance issues. Yes, they do consistently. Also, if you bought a house for your Thai wife and you're divorcing, you're entitled to get that back, even if it's not in her name. You just got to prove you've sent the money. And you can win in court. There's no guarantees, but a lot of people have. Because you can say in court, well, I couldn't buy it in my house because it's not legal. I can't legally do it. So I had to buy in her name. And a lot of people don't even try because they think they're going to fail. So they're set up for failure from the start. The next piece of advice, I'm not going to read that out. That was a dig at someone else. I'm not going to fall for that. There's a few points here from other people. So one bad advice tip that was sent to me is Facebook contributors that always advise using an agent to get a driving license. Now, to me, I always advise just doing everything yourself because you want to learn the process, you want to be part of it. But if you're working here and you're making 5,000-10,000 baht a day and you can pay someone to expedite and get your driving license faster, then it does make sense. But if you're retired and stuff, then just go get it yourself, you lazy so-and-so. I've spent a couple of hours in the driving place and it's not that bad. There's some lovely Thai ladies around. There's people around. You can read a book. You can go on your phone. I don't understand it when guys are paying a lot of money just to save a day. And it's not that bad at all. At the end of the day, you're just sitting around. You're not like getting your fingers poked in your eyes and rectal examination. So, yeah, just do it yourself and save money. And I say this with a lot of things, especially visas. Get your wife doing that from the get-go. If you've got time misses, don't accept anything. Like, no excuses. Just take her into immigration. Ask her to get a form there of all the things you need because it changes. And then take that form away and then get to do everything. Next year, she can do it again. You could even pay her because at the end of the day, you're going to save money. And why not pay your own missus to do something? Now, I wouldn't pay a lady that asked me, a wife that asked me to pay her, but I would give her some money for her time and effort, depending on the relationship. As it stands, my missus has control of the money, so we're all good there. So, real estate guys, bad advice. Hang on a minute, bad advice. So, because it's backwards and I suffer from low IQ, so yeah, just don't listen to some of the real estate guys. There are a few places I'd like to mention, but I don't want any legal issues. But if it's too good to be true, then it probably is. There's some really good real estate guys around. For example, East Coast Real Estate. I know though that it's a good, solid company. Our company is tpmproperty.com. We've also got a Facebook page. We're just looking to sell and flip businesses and mostly higher value things like houses, condos. And the reason why we're just doing less numbers is because we've got a massive network of advertising. We can throw those houses out and try and get them sold quickly, whereas other people have a whole host of listings to deal with. Anyway, it's a growing company, our real estate. Don't learn Thai, it's too hard. This is very, very, very bad advice, and whoever says this needs a kick in the balls because it's not that hard. It's actually easy. It just seems hard. And don't listen to the people that say like, oh yeah, nobody can ever learn it. This is all I heard when I first arrived. And then I get to Pattaya and everyone's talking Thai. So yeah, people that don't learn it want everyone else to be in the same boat. Put it that way. Someone said, pay a mamazam for the full lady's fee up front. Yes, that is definitely bad advice because if you're paying for ladies' fee up front, what incentive is there for her to, deliver a service that, depending on where you are, and also you don't want other people involved in your transactions. At the end of the day, what you do with your lady privately is nothing to do with the bar owners or go-go owners. So no one should be in the middle of that. There should be no middleman, and we don't want middlemen coming here either. You can get people beat up cheap. Now, a few people say to me, oh yeah, if people rob people here and do bad things, they're going to get killed, they're going to get shot, they're going to get beaten up, people will pay. No, it doesn't happen. It almost never happens. People do lots of bad things there and nobody cares because they're not known. If you're a YouTuber or if you're a public face like myself, if you fart in the wrong direction, you're a criminal and you're a piece of S and everything else. So just the real people that are committing crimes and stuff like that, they stay very, very low key for a reason. And if I mention some of these people's names, nobody cares because nobody knows. So there's some good advice there. If you're going to rob people, don't put your face out there because, you're going to be a target anyway. But I'm not going to advise people, people that are up to no good. They know that already. It's obvious. So some companies will say advertise with us and your business will succeed. I haven't seen this before, but someone mentioned it. If anyone's promising you anything, they probably can't deliver that because this is Pattaya. It's a very complex place. There's a lot of languages, a lot of generations, a lot of cultures. There's a lot of different types of businesses. It's an interesting mess marketing kind of like challenge. So yeah, that's one that I've got expertise in, is trying to market to different people that are on different mediums. Like in USA, you know, and maybe England, it's WhatsApp. In Thailand, it's Line. In China, it's WeChat. In Russia, it's VK. These are all your customers here. Good luck in contacting everyone. And that's why we have the bat bus advertising. Just a quick plug. At the end of the day, I've got to promote my own products, and I believe in bat bus advertising. So, yeah, just pay the checkpoint cops. You don't need a license. This is bad advice. Yes, you can keep paying fines and stuff, and I'm not saying that you're bribing. I'm saying paying fines in the police station. Obviously, our good police guys here, they're not going to accept roadside bribes. Don't swim in the Pattaya beaches. Yeah, well, that's probably bad advice, but John GM Beach is not far away, so why not go there? But a lot of people say that there's turds and other things in the Pattaya Beach. I think that's from years ago. They've extended the pipe, or they've probably done a better job now. Just watch out for jellyfish and other things. Me personally, I like to swim in clear water where I can see if I'm just about to get stung by something. So maybe Satahip or Bang Saray, Satahip, Bang Saray or Bang Chang, where there's less undercurrent and waves, which messes it up. So, which reminds me, I fancy getting the jet ski again at some point. My last one has been abandoned. Buying clothes from Lazada. This was something that this is bad advice, apparently. I can imagine why it's bad advice, because the Lazada is full of cheap stuff. I also say to people, if you're going to buy clothes and you can afford it, just go to the shopping malls. Yes, you can go to the market, but generally Thai people buy the cheapest stuff they can and not the best quality. So sometimes it's just good to go to a shop or a brand where you can trust it. Otherwise, you end up buying 2 or 3 times. You just never know at the markets. But if you don't have any money and it's just a small amount, why not punt it? Sometimes it's worth a punt. Just park on the red and white painted pavement. The cops don't bother. So the cops do work here, and they do put motorbike clamps on there. They do lock things up, and they do cause problems. So anyone says that they're too powerful and they can park anywhere or want, I would question that. And they do have law enforcement here, not so much after 6 o'clock, mostly during the day. And there's more plainclothes here than there is normal. So the plainclothes guys, there's a lot of them around, and there's not so much in uniform. Just be aware of that. Also, the traffic cops are the ones that you see mostly because they have to wear uniforms for obvious reasons. Because if you don't wear uniforms, people will just run you over if you try and stop the traffic. So my mate Dan, he's a bit of a pervert. He says bad advice is always wear a condom. I shouldn't really be approaching this matter on YouTube, but there's a lot of people out there that will avoid certain girls that they call the condom police, and there's a lot of guys out there that swear by that they never get any issues or rarely. But as a responsible YouTuber, I'm going to say you should always wrap up to protect all the expats that aren't. I'm just joking, disclaimer alert, whatever. So he said never go to CD BJ bars. That's bad advice. He thinks it's good advice to go to CD BJ bars. As a happily married man, I have no idea what he's talking about. Only eat 99 baht breakfast. Yeah, so there are people out there. If I want to go for high views, I can bash out content all day. I can talk about the cheapest of cheapest thing. Everyone can afford cheap. So it makes sense for you to list the $12,000 baht condos, the cheap meals, the cheap drinks. Everyone's all over it. So if I want to chase views, I go to the bottom where everyone can afford it. If I want more views, I go to the top. Less views, I go to the top. So that's why you see everyone promoting the cheapest stuff. And let's face it, a lot of people are cheap when they come here, especially if they've got more money for their extra activities at night time. Right, so someone said about complaining about service in Facebook groups. That's bad advice. Me personally, I want to have a good time on my holiday. Pattaya in Thailand is a smaller town than people think. People think that they can poach the gills when they first start working. They think that they can do all these things and nobody notices. There's a lot of us old timers out here that talk privately, that notice these sort of things. And there's a lot of people that not only take notes, it also makes a difference to what's going on. And if you do want to deflame a company, just remember that there's laws here to do that. And yes, I've been warned about the laws several times. And yes, I've got a German guy trying to sue me, but I still stand by the fact that I believe that I was right. And he did what he did. And it was a public service announcement. And I didn't insult the guy. I was just trying to warn people about him. Another one, I wrote this one, pay a Sinsoc dowry. I think that's bad advice. I think no one should do that unless you're a very rich person and the girl's a virgin and she's like 18 or whatever. Yeah, I said to my wife, I'm a Farang. It's not my culture. I respect my culture. You can use this excuse with weddings when asking you to wear silly clothes. You can use this excuse when they're trying to drag you to the temples and everything else. At the end of the day, I'm English and I've been in Thailand since I was 25, but I'm still English and I always will be English. I'm not going to be one of those silly guys that convert and lose my whole identity just because I want some credit off Thai people. We can work together. We don't have to be the same and we respect each other. That's enough. You don't have to start falling down ladders to make comedy shows. More bad advice, hang out at table of knowledge with the true geniuses of town. Now, a friend of mine wrote this, but he mentioned Nikon Court. And I was like, dude, I'm not going to mention Nikon Court because he said there's loads of cheap Charlies there all day. But I said I definitely wasn't going to mention Nikon Court. So what I said I was going to say is table of knowledge is all over town, because I'd rather insult everyone than just one particular group, because it's funny that way. There's table of knowledge is all over East Pattaya. If you want bad advice, go to them. But all jokes aside, everything's relative. I've been going to a friend's bar and there was a polo player that came in and I was like, come on. And he was a black American polo player. I was like, yeah, all right, whatever. Anyway, I go strolling in there because he's in there and I start asking him some questions. Straight away, I know he's a polo player. He knows people that I know. Everything just aligned up. So he's in the polo world, confirmed. So when I say things, it's a generalization. There are exceptions to a rule. Someone picked up on a comment the other day that I made, which I'll address at the end. And when I say something, it doesn't mean like literally every single case. So I just thought I'd explain that. So more bad advice, but I don't know who offers this advice, is renting or buying a condo before you move here. I don't think anyone advises that, but people do it. So someone must be, yeah, dude, you need to book your place. I always tell people, don't book anything at all. Just come here, get a taxi at the airport or book a taxi at the airport. It drives me insane. I've been to Phnom Penh. I've been all over the world. And it's almost never book unless it's some strange place, or just book the first night so you're guaranteed. Anyway, my advice is just book 1 or 2 days and you can move and find a decent place. Like, for example, you might like Soy 6, you end up staying near there. You know, you've got KTK residence, something like that, Nova Gold and all those other places. It's not far from Soy 6. Why not stay there? But you can stay at View Tele next to Central and get the view. So some people will say, well, I'd love to buy an LK Metro, but what about the noise late at night? So everyone has to just scope out the town and see. But if you're going to move here and find somewhere for 12 months, then yeah, you need to definitely check before you come here. So many guys have bought and put contracts down and they don't even turn up. There's so many variables in Pattaya and Thailand. You've got visas, you've got family getting sick, people needing you back home, laws, heat. You just don't know what's going to happen until you get here. There could be one deal breaker. The whole thing could be based on one relationship and that collapses straight away. More bad advice is come at Christmas or New Year's where there's crowded ladies. Carl's Thailand told me this one. Check out Carl's Thailand channel. It's a travel channel and he's working with this at the news at the moment. But these were 3 solid ideas. So you should wait till February, June or whatever and come when the girls are more available. They need money and yeah, they're definitely up for, hang on a minute. Oh, what's up? Yeah, sorry. I just checked in with my microphone was on. The other day, I did a video for 42 minutes and the microphone wasn't on faceplant. So a lot of guys decide to come at the same time and guys are always asking me, how busy is it? I'm like, why do you want to know how busy it is? Because if it's not busy, you should come. If it is busy, then don't come. But everyone thinks the way around. But maybe dudes just like to hang out with each other and do high fives and share gills. Maybe that's what their secret is. 3, ask a bar girl ask Mamazam at a go-go to set up your deal for you. They'll make your deal more expensive for you and want to drink it for you. So there you go. That's bad advice. Get the Mamazam to set up a deal for you. However, you can say to a Mamazam, which 2 girls are good at a double date with me? Well, just me. Technically, it's a threesome, but I was trying to think of cleaner words so I didn't get banned again. But I didn't get banned for that, by the way. I got banned for a completely different reason. I've never had a warning, and I'm trying not to get one too. So, yeah, if you can ask the Mamazam for intel. You can ask managers for intel because some guys, they just want to go to the cinema and hold a girl's hand, you know. Maybe that's all they need. But if you want a girl that can swallow a cucumber, then maybe you can ask the Mamazam for a girl that's got, you know, a skill set in salad. Yeah, something like that. So number 3, ask a bar girl what to do that night. Yeah, I think women generally like guys that make decisions. I think that it's your holiday, and I think the minute you start letting your bar fines or rentals or girls that you're paying for time, I think the minute you start getting them to decide is the minute they slowly lose respect for you, and the minute you end up being suffering. I get it if it's your first trip and you say, right, today I want to go see water parks, I want to do all these things, that's understandable. But if you're out on the night and, you know, they've got friends in different bars, they've got friends in go-go's and nightclubs, you're just going to be taken to all those places to buy all of her friends drinks. And then her friends will do the same as well, which is fine if you've got money. Like, why not play the game? If I was on holiday, I'd probably think, yeah, sod it. But if you're on a budget and you're trying to keep more money for more physical activities, then just be aware of that one. So just to round up, Pattaya is a privilege. It's not owed to us. There's a lot of guys out there that think that it's owed and they're a charity case if they can't make money here. I made a video the other day and I put expert explains a video about what was it, human trafficking or something. Anyway, it was 3 videos away and I just reviewed some article, and some guy in the comments says, Brian, you said that if someone calls himself an expert, then they're just talking bollocks. Well, I put expert in inverted brackets, and it was just a title to try and get people to click on it. But technically, everything about that video was to do with my profession, and it's something that I know deeply well. So if someone asked me about Pattaya, I consider myself as an expert, but I would never say that, inverted brackets. But if I'm not an expert, who is? But what I'm trying to say is that I'll only say it in like a title, or if I'm trying to sell my services, I'm an expert in buying and selling businesses in Pattaya. That's more likely to be true. If I say I'm an expert in business, that's bollocks. If I say I'm an expert in investing, that's bollocks. Yes, I can make money investing, but it's not my main thing. Anyway, I think people get my point. I put that in inverted brackets, and sometimes I'm allowed to say that, look, I've established some authority here. Give me a break. I've got several businesses here. I've been here for 17 years. If I can't have a little bit of authority in the nightlife industry in Pattaya, then I don't know who can. And there are people out there that have been here a little bit longer. Maybe they don't have as many businesses as me. But the thing is, with so many businesses is in different areas and just a large amount of bars, I get a lot more data and a lot more problems and a lot more everything. So even if I have been here less longer than other people, that is hugely accelerated. There's guys that have had one bar for 20 years. I've had 30 bars for many years now. That just blows everything out of the water when it comes down to experience. So, however, I have experts around me, like my general manager and managers and all these other people that I can ask questions. So I'm just trying to let that guy know that that's why I use that word. On the 4th at the pub, there is a meeting of YouTubers. There's 35 YouTubers going there, and it's arranged by Mr. Mitch. We put it on the Pattaya News. I'm going to be there. See some of you there. The meeting is once a month. It'll be on the news. It'll be on my tab, Mr. Mitch's tab. And any other YouTubers that want to come, just let Mr. Mitch know. It's an open invitation, unless you're one of these guys that does bad things. Okay. Thank you all, and speak to you soon. Cheers.